Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Atawakwadash, the Balana, son to the elder apostles and great milestone, for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, this is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 16, but I will start at 15 over here to the three last verses of chapter 1 Kings, chapter 15. So 1 Kings chapter 15 verse 32. And there was war between Uzzah and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. In the third year of Uzzah, king of Judah, began Baasha, the son of Ahijah, to reign over all Israel in Tirzah, 24 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin. Verse 16, chapter 16, verse 1. Then the word of the Lord came to Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha, saying, For as much as I exalted thee out of the dust, because it's the Most High that actually makes you rich, famous, and just anything. That doesn't always mean a good thing. Because it says here, for example, Luke 6:24, Woe unto them that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Consolation is like a second prize, the comfort received by a person after a loss or disappointment. In this case, you lost the kingdom. And since you're disappointed, here, take a prize, get rich, in this day and age. And then you have a few others, which is, for example, Luke 19:2. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans, and he was rich. So he was a publican and he was rich. Verse 9, And Yahushua said unto him, This day is salvation come to this house, for so much as he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man is come to save for the Son of Man is come to seek and save that which is lost. And who is lost? The lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yeah, so it doesn't automatically mean just because you're rich that you're going to get destroyed. But it's very hard for a rich man to get up in the kingdom because of their diverse manners and ways, often associated with pride, arrogance, and they think they can get away with a lot of things because a lot of times they can. And then they're going to act a certain way against a lot of people upon the planet Earth, especially the poor, or just people that don't have a lot. 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bring it up. He can kill you and he can bring you up from the like, if you're dead, he can raise you up. He can do that. But it's talking for the living. It's talking about bringing you up out of the dirt, the place where you are low, right? Because back in the days, people lived in, well, not everybody actually, because but yeah, let me see. It's not necessarily that a lot of people lived like this, because you had royals, you had royalties in the midst of these things also. But this is what they say when they mean, this is what they mean when they say dirt broke. That you have these type of places and, but I don't know how to explain it. Places like this, maybe like this, yeah. And then, yeah. Right. Anyway. Dirt poor. I think I said dirt broke. I didn't mean that one. I mean dirt poor. But not everybody lived like that, by the way. Okay, let me go on. So it says here, verse 7. So 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 7. Yahweh make it poor and make it rich. He bring it low and lift it up. He can lift you up out of the well, it's gonna say it here. He raised up the poor out of the dust. That's what the Heavenly Father can do. And lifted up the beggar out of the dunghill. Well, the dunghill is actually a hill of feces, but back in the days you had dunghills. So what would happen then? A dunghill is a place where you can get dung, and then you can take it, and then you can bring it to a place to farm stuff and to grow stuff for yourself. That's like for example, you have a lot of these gypsies. They call themselves gypsies, but they do call themselves Romani people. So what do? When you have let me see. When you have big dirt, so I don't know how you call it. You have this type of dirt that doesn't fit into this thing. Oh, I didn't even see it. It doesn't fit into this thing. So they call it big dirt. So there's only one day in the week when you are allowed to do this. Right? Okay. So now what do the gypsies do? You know, sometimes it's when the birds burst it open and stuff like that. But anyway. So sometimes what the gypsies do, actually a lot of times, what the gypsies do is they come around here and then they look for stuff. They pick out stuff and then they patch it up, fix it up, sell it, send it to their country. Well, not to their country, but to other places and stuff like that. Or they literally sell it to other countries, not to their family members, but just for other people. People of they just do it. They just go around and pick up stuff. They really do that. They have vans. I'm telling you, man. They got pickup. Well, it's not a pickup truck actually. It's a van. And then they pick up stuff, and then they, they take these couches and stuff like that. Well, that's what the people were doing back in the days, among other things. And the dunghill, I saw a picture seconds ago. A dunghill is where feces is, man. But you can take these feces, whatever, and you can farm with it. You can use it for farming, and then they might take it, and then they might bring it to someone for farming, and then they might get a few apples or something like that, because you have it also here. You have this also. You have copper, that if you find copper, then you can go to a recycling metal and cable recycling company, and then you can bring it over there here and stuff like that, and then you can give it to them, and they will buy it from you. These people, they will buy it from you. But where are you gonna get copper? You're gonna get copper here. In the broken down buildings. Well, sorry. You can get copper here. So a lot of homeless people, I think this is already stripped empty, but you can still see things here, pipes and stuff like that. So within this plastic pipe, there might be things and stuff like that. You can see cables here. It's most likely cables within those plastic tubes. Well, you have thicker ones. I mean, thicker type of plastic and stuff like that. I forgot the name of it. Anyway, let me go on. So, and lifted up the beggar, because they begging. They don't make money, but they can make money by going to these dunghills and bringing it to the farmers, because the farmers, they use dung. And then the farmer, he will take it and then he will use it, well, back in the days, because they're devils now, they do it with what you call that thing, with pesticides and stuff like that. Oh shit, man, what am I doing? Farmers use dung for farming because, you know, that's what they do. And then they plant stuff. I just saw a plant. Did it go? It went away. Here. This is what they do. Give me the fat last one. Here. Farmers use animal dung manure for planting because it is rich organic, it is a rich organic source of essential plant nutrients, and it improves soil health and structure. That's it. So then they could trade that in, like barter, like this. What is barter? Barter is this: when you have cow dung and this guy gives you a few fruits or vegetables for that cow dung that you have, and then you give him, and then he will be able to plant more. You know, he might need it. They always need shit. You know, they always need dung. Farmers, all back in the days. The farmers nowadays, they use all kind of satanic type of stuff. Just everything that's against the Heavenly Father. That's against nature. And lifted up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes, sorry. I was thinking of kings. And to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, the stability of the earth are the Lord's. So every which way is of the Lord. Every mannerisms is of the Lord. And he had set the world upon them. Here. Job 26:7. The Heavenly Father stretched out the north over the empty place, and the Heavenly Father hangeth the earth upon nothing. So this would then therefore be a contradiction. No, it isn't. It is, if you understand this without readers. This is talking about the stability of the earth, and he has set his rules upon them. So he has set the world upon his rules, basically, right? Right, okay. 1 Kings 16:2. For as much as I exalted thee out of the dust, because he was not of high stature like that, and made thee prince over my people Israel. I just read that. And thou hast walked in the way of Jeroboam, the man that he actually killed his whole family because he was doing that. And then he went and followed the same things as Jeroboam did, which was the king of the northern tribes, and all his household got exterminated, man. His individual household. Not the household of his brother, Jeroboam, his brother, or Jeroboam, his father, or Jeroboam, his uncle and stuff like that, because Jeroboam, his father, and his uncle is all the seed of all of them. Jeroboam, his grandfather, which is Jeroboam, his father's father, and Jeroboam, his uncle, which is his father's brother. Yeah, his father is also the same. So it's just, it is not the house of his father. It is only his house as an individual. It got wiped out. So, and has made my people Israel to sin, to provoke me to anger with their sins. Behold, I will take away the posterity of Baasha and the posterity of his house, and I will make thy house like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, which is also extermination. Now, if you understand what I just said, then you would know that this is not extermination, but it is extermination of his individual household. For example, you have, oh yeah, here. I was thinking of the one of, wait, sorry. I was thinking of the one of Judah, his son. Let me see. Oh yeah, this one. So Genesis 38, verse 9, sorry. 38, verse 9. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went into his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. This is not really an explanation. This is basically more story. Here. Ruth 4. Oh man. Let me just go here. It's easy, but there's a few other scriptures. There's also a law in Deuteronomy. I think I didn't even put it here. Damn. I'll probably have it in my book. Okay. Anyway, let me read this. Numbers 27 and 3. Our father died in the wilderness. Man, I ate too much. Sorry, man. I didn't eat a lot. I was drinking. I ate and I also have a whole can of tea here, but I need to finish it. So my belly is full, man. I can't breathe with something. Anyway, sorry about that. It says here, our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against Yahweh, in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin and had no sons. Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family? Because he had no son. Give unto us therefore possession among the brethren of our father. And then, Numbers chapter 36 goes a little bit more, goes more in it, the whole chapter. The whole chapter is a short chapter, 13 verses. And Numbers 27 stops, I think. Yeah, I just clicked it. Okay. I think it starts with 11. Yeah. Hey. Well, how about him? Okay, cool. Right. It's also somewhere in the law. In Deuteronomy somewhere. I think this one is it. Deuteronomy 25 and 5. Oh yeah. Here it is. And 6. I'll just go 5, but I'll go to 6. And it shall come to pass that the firstborn which she beareth, shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead. And why? That his name, his individual name, be not put out from Israel. Because why is the brother allowed to have sex with his dead brother's widow, I should say? Because of this family tree. Here, family tree. So what happens? Let's say this man and his wife, of course. Okay, cool. And then let's say he has so this couple has 1, 2, 3 sons, right? Just for an example, say you could do whatever you want, but let's say it's 3 sons, right? Okay, so one of the sons dies. So now there's 2 bloodlines of this same man that can make a child with this woman, and then one of them, most likely the oldest one, would then have to make children with her because of the dead brother. And why is that? Because it is the same bloodline of him. So this man has the same bloodline of him, and so has he, and so has he. So if he dies, this man is supposed to take this woman and make a child in the name of this individual. But it is the same bloodline of him. So even though, let's say, these two brothers, you know, they live very far away, whatever. It doesn't. What was I was gonna say something actually. I wanted to just say, like, look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one of them. It is still the bloodline of the father. Let me just leave it at that. I wanted to go into something. Whatever. Let me leave it. I don't even remember 100% what the hell I was gonna say. Probably some. I don't know. That his name be not put out of Israel. So his individual household should not be put out. Oh, wait a minute. I missed it. But he himself will then. He doesn't have no bloodline for him. Well, he doesn't have no household for himself, his own name, his individual name. But his name will still be carried forth because of this, of his father's bloodline that goes through this guy or through this guy. Women don't give bloodline. They receive bloodline and they give birth to a bloodline of someone else. She is a receiver, you know. I think in NFL you have the receivers too. Something like that. They always receive the ball. Right. So I was having a, not discussion, I was having a conversation with a female. You know what? The point is, these females think they're doing the fucking. I have to say it like that, but you're not doing the fucking. You're getting fucked. It's a difference. So, because they want to put a badge of honor upon themselves, because they can, nowadays, they are allowed to have multiple. I'm not trying to stop her, but she thinks she's doing the banging. Meanwhile, she's being banged on. You're being banged. You know, you're not banging. You can thrust all you want, but you still are being inserted. You can hop all you want. You can fight it. You can bounce. You know, you can lean back. But you're being inserted. Something is coming in you. A stick. You know, you ain't doing the banging. Anyway, so let me go on. So it says, women give, so it's, no, I didn't say that, but I mean, like, I wanted to finish that thing. Women give birth, they don't give life. Life comes from the Heavenly Father first and foremost, but he created the man in order to have seed within himself, which is like a tree. We are symbolically tree. Genesis 1:11. And the power said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself. A boy, when he hits about 12 years old, he starts to develop the seed for now pushing it outward. It's already busy within, but it's not ripe. It's like an actual fruit. In the beginning, if the fruit is green and you're trying to replant it, it's not really, you know, you need to plant it when it's ripe, because then the fruit with the seed within is hardened and most likely it will turn brown. But in the beginning, if you open it, you will see it's green or white. It's not ripe. It can't really be planted like that. You need good seed. Okay. Older seed, most likely. Riper seed, I should say, actually, not older seed. Well, it's older. So anyway, going on. So the Most High is was going to exterminate Basha also. His individual household, not of his father, not of his brother, not of his father's brother, which is his uncle, only from him. Him that died of Baasha in the city shall the dogs eat, the same punishment that Jeroboam got. And him that died in his in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. And the field is talking about the world. Matthew 24. Yeah, got it. So it says here, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. These are mountains. The highest part of the dust of the world are mountains. Because dust is earth. Anyway, so it says right here, Matthew 13:38, the field is the world. That's it. So 1 Kings chapter 16 verse 5. The fowls of the... Okay. Now the rest of the acts of Baasha and what he did and his might, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? It's going into Second Chronicles chapter 16. You can read about Baasha and stuff like that. What he done. I'll read it if you want to. I'll read it at the end then. Yeah, okay. I'll should I read it now or then? Okay. I'll just read this then. I'll just read this first and then I'll read that. I think. Let me go on. So no, I'll read it after this one. So Baasha slept with his fathers and was buried in Tirzah, which is a very beautiful city. And Elah, his son, reigned in his stead. Okay, yeah, so he died. So let me read this now. 2 Chronicles 16 and 1 until 14. In the 6th and 13th year of the reign of Asa, Baasha, so Asa Baasha, king of Israel, came up. So let me read it again because it looks kind of weird, like his name is Asa Baasha. No, it says here, in the 6th and 30th year of the reign of Asa, which is king of Judah. If I'm correct, you will see it here. Here. In the 13th and 1st year of Asa, king of Judah, began Omri to reign over Israel. See? That's what they did right there also, which is here. Okay. Baasha, king of Israel, came up against Judah. He came up against Asa and built Ramah, which is a city, to the intent that he might let none go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah. Why? Because he wanted to keep the Israelite, the 10 tribes, he wanted to keep them away from Judah. He was blocking them. For example, you had here, in order to keep his people from traveling to Jerusalem to worship at the temple, because this is but Jeroboam did this, but he did it too, because he knew that if they was to go around Judah and Benjamin, they might reconcile with each other, like, hey man, this guy was, man, it's his fault. Y'all ain't even evil, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, give me a man, we gonna kill this motherfucker, man. He set us up against each other. He didn't want that. So he kept them at bay, a space between each other, and he forbade them. Don't talk to them. Talk to them. Beat your ass. Right? In order to keep his people from traveling to Jerusalem to worship at the temple, because the temple of King Solomon was in Jerusalem and the Ark of the Covenant was there, and he didn't want that. He wanted them to worship the 2 calves. Jeroboam set up calves of idol at Dan in the north and Bethel in the south, which is here in Ephraim, and encouraged the people to worship them instead of going to the mountain in Jerusalem, in Mount Moriah, on Mount Zion, in the land of Moriah, in Mount Zion. Well, it's also mountain. Look, let me give you right here. It's kind of, it's not a tongue twister, but you know what the thing is? If you understand what you read, it's fun. Okay. So it says right here. What? Oh, Genesis 22 and 2. Oh my goodness, man. This is it. Genesis 22 and 2. And he said, the Heavenly Father said, take now thine son. He told Abraham, thine only son Isaac. It was not his only son, it was his second son. But this shows you that the first son didn't count. That spit on him. That one. You don't count. You're not even here. You don't exist. You're dead to me. People say that, right? You're alive, but you're dead to that person. You know? You don't matter. That's what the Heavenly Father basically showed you here about Ishmael. He liked him. He blessed him. Genesis 17 shows you that. He blessed him. You know, he made him a multitude and fruitful. But the covenant was with Isaac. Okay. Whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains, the many mountains, which I will tell thee of. 2 Chronicles 3:1. Then Solomon began to build the house of Yahweh at Jerusalem. So where is Jerusalem? Jerusalem is in the land of Moriah. At Jerusalem in Mount Moriah. So there's a mountain, a lot of mountains were there, but you have Mount Moriah specifically, the one that they know, where Yahweh appeared unto David in the place that David had prepared in the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. And you can read about that here. 1 Chronicles 21, verse 14 until verse 30. But he bought it there for full price. For full price, he bought it there. And yeah, let me see. And he set up a burnt, he started to do burnt offerings and stuff like that. But yeah, because the angel was about to harm people. He was killing people, not about to harm. He was killing people. But yeah, you can read this chapter and also this chapter. Here, you can read this chapter. The angel killed that day 70,000 men from Dan even to Beersheba. And if you don't know where that is, I just showed it, I think. Yeah, here. This is from Dan, and then here is Beersheba. So basically all Israel. He killed all. See, he went through all Israel, and he killed 70,000 men. And if you read the Bible, you will never see where a demon or a devil killed so many people. It's always the angels. But in the cartoons and in the superhero world, you always have, because these people are devils by nature in their spirit also. The Japanese people, what do they always do? Always when a character becomes stronger, they become evil, because that is what they see as powerful. And always they make them dark skin. They make them always darker. You have Ken and Evil Ken. You have, let me see. This is Evil Ken. He got the afro. He got the afro and the darker skin. They call him Violent Ken, but he's evil. It's Evil Ken. And then you have Normal Ken. Is here this one with the yellow hair, of course. This one is another form of it, but this one is also original because this is from SNK. I had this game, so I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is how they display him in the image here. But enough of this. Well, in the movie they had it too, but of course he wasn't. He got a darker there, but yeah, to a certain degree. In the game he was. So you have Evil Ken, and then you have. I shouldn't be dwelling on this too much. Sorry. You might not even understand what I'm showing you right here. But here you have Ryu, and then you have evil Ryu. He's darker. And you have Chun-Li, and then you have evil Chun-Li, which is shadow Chun-Li. And then you have so many, man. I can't even figure out the names because there's a lot. I can't think of the names, I should say, actually. But here you have Charlie or Nash, and then you have evil Nash or evil Charlie or shadow Charlie, whatever. They always make them black. That's the point. And stronger. They always make them black and stronger. So they're telling you actually what it is, because Yahweh is actually called Al Shaddad, which is the terrible demon-like god, because he was killing them so hard they called him a demon. But this is how the heathen nations, this is how they glory something, because in their mind the evil is always stronger and the good is a sissy. You know, the angels is that they always put the angels as sissies, and then the devil says the cool hip guy that you want to be like. Well, they make you, not me. I'm talking about what they do in the games and stuff like that, and in the movies. You know, even evil Spider-Man, when he got that suit, I think it was Tommy Maguire or something. I don't know anymore what's his name, man. Toby Maguire or something, I think. Damn it. This one. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. Spider-Man 3, 2007. If you watch this, you will see. When he got the black suit, the evil one, then he started to be cool. He started walking around, and then you start hearing black music. Yeah, man, because I saw that. I was like, these motherfuckers are putting stuff up in there. Very cheap shots and stuff like that. But I don't know how to explain it. I know what I mean. And they say that is the strongest one and the best one and stuff like that, because that's their thing. But we know that the angel is actually that. The thing that they say is the cool, hip, and strong one. But their god is evil, so they represent it as evil. Let me give you a last example. Their heroes are our enemies. So our heroes are their enemies. Our hero is Yahweh Shai, and the angels and the prophets. The ultimate hero is Yahweh Shai. I'm not trying to put them together with the rest, but yeah, I just said it. You know, I should put a comma. But anyway, the prophets, the men of the Lord, you know, the righteous men and stuff like that, those are our heroes, right? And that's their enemies. So yeah, you know, they switch things around. Anyway, so it says right here, at Shechem, 10 northern tribes rejected Rehoboam's rule and set up Jeroboam as king. Rehoboam is the son of Solomon, which is Judah. Jeroboam is then Ephraim. Tirzah serves as the first capital of the northern kingdom. Later, the capital was moved to Samaria, which I'm going to read in a few seconds. It's here. Well, not a few seconds, but I will read it later, Lord willing. So later, the capital moved from Shechem to Samaria, and then it became that. But Shechem is in Ephraim, but it's also in Manasseh. It's on the border, the same way as Jerusalem. It's with Benjamin, and it's actually in Benjamin, but it's shared with Judah. Right. Okay, let me read this one. The Moabites and the Edomites eventually reasserted their independence from the kingdom of Israel and Judah. Jerusalem continues to serve as the capital of the southern kingdom of Judah. But yeah, this thing here is the same thing that Baasha did by keeping them away and keeping the Israelites away from Judah so that they don't befriend with them anymore, you know? That they keep on being enemies because they're far away from each other. Right. So 1 Kings chapter 16 verse... where was I? Sorry. Oh yeah, sorry. 2 Chronicles 16 and... What? Okay, let me read it here. Came up against Judah and built Ramah to the intent that he might let none go out of... what? Out or come in... or come into Asa, king of Judah, sorry. Then Asa brought out silver and gold out of the treasures of the house of the Lord and of the king's house, which is King David, and sent it to Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, which is Aram, that dwelt at Damascus, saying, There is a league between me and thee, as there was between my father and thy father. Behold, I have sent thee silver and gold. Go, break thy league with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may depart from me. If I'm correct, I actually already read this. I think I already read this in the chapter before, because I'm reading now and I'm thinking, hey, I read this before. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave this for this one here, okay? Let me go back to over here. So 1 Kings chapter 16 verse... He died. Where did it? Oh, sorry. Okay, verse 6, he died. Okay, 7. And also by the hand of the prophet Jehu, the son of Hanani, came the word of Yahweh against Baasha and against his house, even for all the evil that he did in the sight of the Lord, in provoking him to anger with the works of his hands, in being like the house of Jeroboam, and because he murdered him. It is murder. In the 26th year of Asa, which is crazy because the Heavenly Father cursed him. He cursed Jeroboam, but he's still going to punish you. And because you did wicked too. Extra on top of that. Verse 8. In the 26th year of Asa, king of Judah, began Elah, the son of Baasha, to reign over Israel in Tirzah 2 years. So he was reigning 2 years. In the 26th year of Asa, his rulership, then Elah, the son of Baasha, started to reign. And by the way, Baasha got killed. And you can read about it here. I think I read it because now that I'm reading, I think to myself, yeah, I think I already read it in the chapter before this. But anyway, so he went to, I'll just glance over it. Verse 9, for the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. Herein thou hast done foolishly. Therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars. So the Heavenly Father cursed him because he went to go look for help from the people of Aram. He went to go look for help there while he was fighting with Baasha. You know, so Asa got himself cursed. But yeah, Baasha was also messed up. Let me see. Yeah, eventually he got killed too, because he was doing, well, let me read it. I already read it here, actually. He sorry. I already read it. He got himself killed. He got himself cursed. His household, sorry. So Asa, king of Judah, began Elah, the son of Baasha, to reign over Israel in Tirzah 2 years. Verse 9. 1 Kings chapter 16, verse 9. and his servant Zimra, captain of half his chariots, conspired against him. And he was in Tirzah, drinking himself drunk in the house of Arza, steward of his house in Tirzah. A steward is basically nowadays it's a stewardess or a secretary, but back in the days these were men, because a woman is not supposed to be a powerful man, even a not powerful man. His secretary. Why do you think? Yeah, I give you 3 seconds to think. You gonna fuck him. You know she's what? Oh, here. Here. The book of Sirach 9 and I think 4 also. No, don't need that one. The book of Sirach 9 and 5. Gaze not on a maid. Why? That thou fall not by those things that are precious in her. Precious, something of great value. You're going to see something in her that's cute. You know, you go look at, you start looking at her. That's what, I don't want to give examples. But yeah, that's what a lot of rich men do when they, you know, that woman is, you know, she bending over, cleaning, she giggles cute, and you know your wife is like a monster when she laughs. Oh, you looking at her like, Then you're looking at that little cute girl, you know, you be like, oh damn, you know, something is cute. Well, whatever, it could be her laugh. It could be something else, you know. I don't know. It just depends. Not everybody favorite color is whatever, yellow or something. You know, you might find something else about her that you like. Anyway, maybe her voice or something. I don't know. So verse 10, and Zimra went in and smote him and killed him in the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, and reigned in his stead. So who did Zimra kill? It goes on, verse 11. And it came to pass, when he began to reign, as soon as he sat on his throne, that he slew all the house of Baasha. He killed them. He went and he killed them. He killed that whole family. Let me see. What am I doing? Oh yeah. Oh, did I already read this? The prophet. Wow. Oh yeah, I already read it. Sorry, man. That's what I'm kind of confused. Okay, sorry. Okay, Zimra went in and smote him. So let me read it again, verse 9. And his servant Zimra, so whose servant? His servant. He killed him. Let me see, verse 11. And it came to pass, when he began to reign, as soon as he sat on his throne, that he slew all the house of Baasha. He left not one that pissed against the wall, neither of his kinfolks, nor of his friends, because they might have fought for him, or trying to avenge him. I'm not saying that's righteous, I'm saying that, you know, because I think Rehoboam did that. Wait. Here, I think. Here. 2 Chronicles 25 and 3. Now it came to pass, when the kingdom was established to him, which was Amaziah, if I'm correct. Anyway, that he slew his servants that had murdered the king his father, but he slew not their children, but did as it is written In the law in the book of Moses, where Yahweh commanded, saying, the father shall not die for the children, neither shall the children die for the fathers, but every man shall die for his own sin. And you can find it here. But yeah. So the children didn't die and stuff like that, but this was a curse from the Heavenly Father anyway. So his whole family, all of them died. And also his friends, because like I said, they wanted to maybe, he's not sure. Maybe his friends wouldn't do anything, but he didn't care because he was wicked anyway. But anyway, verse 12. Thus did Zimra destroy all the house of Baasha according to the word of Yahweh, which he spake against Baasha by Jehu the prophet. Oh, that. Verse 13. For all the sins of Baasha and the sins of Elah his son, by which they sinned, and by which they made Israel to sin, in provoking Yahweh, the power of Israel, to anger with their vanities. They was doing vain things, but they was doing it on purpose, because they hated the Heavenly Father. Proverbs chapter 8 verse 36. But he that sinned against me, wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. You hate him. You hate the Heavenly Father. You love death. Right. Let me go back to over here. They hated the Heavenly Father. Now the rest of the acts of Elah and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? In the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, did Zimra reign 7 days in Tirzah. So Zimra only reigned 7 days in Tirzah, which is a place. And the people were encamped against Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines. And the people that were encamped heard say, Zimra had conspired. You know, it's a conspiracy what he did. Conspired is conspiracy. Make secret plans jointly to commit an unlawful or harmful act. It's conspiracy. Conspire, conspiracy is the same thing. Right? And had also slain the king. He murdered the king, which was Baasha. Wherefore all Israel made Omri, the captain of the host, king of Israel, that day in the camp. So they did not accept him. They was like, screw you. You guy's crazy. Nah, man, we ain't seeing you as king. But he put himself as king for 7 days. The 7-day theory. Verse 17. And Omri went up from Gibbethon, and all Israel with him, and they besieged Tirzah. So they was finna go get him, because he was in Tirzah. And it was like, nah, we coming to besiege you, man. Ain't nobody here accepting you as the king. Going on. Verse 18. And it came to pass, when Zimri saw that the city was taken, that he went into the palace of the king's house, the king that he murdered, and burned the king's house over him with fire, and died. He killed himself. But the reason he burned that place is because Songs of Solomon chapter 6 verse 4, even King Solomon, when he was alive, this is one of the songs that he made, because Solomon was already passed away there, right? Rehoboam was his son, and then came Azah, and then came another one. Ahijah, something like that. I forgot. Anyway, Songs of Solomon chapter 6 verse 4. Thou art beautiful, O my love, just like Tirzah, O my love. That's how beautiful you are. Calmly, like Jerusalem. You're beautiful like Jerusalem. Terrible as an army with banners and stuff, because it's, you could say, fearful and stuff like that at the same time. Beautiful and fearful, powerful, stuff like that. This is all symbolic, by the way. And how can you then therefore call a city along with a woman beautiful? Just like I said, symbolic. Ferrari back in the days. You had these Ferraris back in the days. I want the older one, actually, the 90s. You had these type of, I don't know if it's this one. You had these type of Ferraris back in the days. There was a powerful and beautiful car. A lot of people wanted this car. These type of cars, I should say. Because it's, you know, it's powerful and it's beautiful. And then you would say, for example, man, she's as beautiful like a Ferrari, man. You know? I don't know. Just an example. Okay, going back over here. Verse 19. For his sins, which he sinned in doing evil in the sight of the Lord, in walking in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sin which he did to make Israel to sin. So that's why the Heavenly Father eventually caused him to die. Verse 20. Now the rest of the acts of Zimri, and his treason that he wrought, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? Then were the people of Israel divided into two parts. Half of the people followed Tibni, the son of Ginath, to make him king, and half followed Omri. So now the Heavenly Father is setting the northern tribes up against each other. Sorry. But the people that followed Omri prevailed against the people that followed Tibni, the son of Githna. So Tibni died, and Omri reigned in fightings. In the 30th and first year of Asa, king of Judah. But let me go on. I wanted to say, like, he just basically continued ruling. Anyway. Began Omri to reign over Israel 12 years. 6 years reigned he in Tirzah. You know, they built that place back up. But yeah, he burnt it. Because he didn't want the beautiful city to be handed over to them. He's like, if I can't have it, fuck it. I'll burn it. That's the demonic. That's a messed up mind, man. You know, he took himself with it too. Verse 24. And he bought the hill Samaria from Shemer for 2 talents of silver. I forgot what the talent was, but it is a lot. Let me see. A talent. Hebrew 3603. Hebrew 3603, sorry. Round, a talent, yeah, a round weight. I had a measurement of it, but I'll just leave it at that, man, because we are in a different time right now, so yeah. I'll just give you a little bit of something. You also had the king's gold. You had the sanctuary's gold. So you had different measurements of gold. But it says right here, Judges 17 and 10. And Micah said unto him, dwell with me, and be unto me a father and a priest. And I will give thee 10 shekels of silver by the year, and a suit of apparel, and thy victuals, which is food. So the Levite went in. So this seemed good unto him, 10 shekels of silver per year. That was the salary. You know. So a talent was more than that, by the way. Let me see, where was I? Here. Verse 24. So 1 Kings 16:24. And he bought the hill Samaria of Shemer for 2 talents of silver, and built on the hill, and called the name of the city which he built after the name of Shemer, which is that man, owner of the hill, Samaria. So he called that place Samaria. Now this is the beginning of the northern tribers, their capital, because this is basically, this hill is where they are now represented by. You know, when you say, when you speak of Samaria, you're speaking of the entire northern tribes, all 10 of them. And then the 2 other tribes, which is Judah and Benjamin, are southerners. But like I showed you in the other chapters, you had Ephraim with them, you had a few others with them, you had Asher with them, but not in a big bulk. Of course, you had the Levites with them, but yeah, it was just called the kingdom of Judah, and Benjamin was clinging on to him. You know, 1 Kings 12. I can grab it for you if you want to. Let's just show you that there were other tribes there. So 1 Kings 12 and 17. But as for the children of Israel, which dwelt in the cities of Judah, this is talking about the 10 tribes. Rehoboam reigned over them, and they had no problem with it, because they was already living there. And then as a precept, you have a few others that was living there too. Well, by name, I should say, not a few others, by name. 1 Chronicles chapter 9, verse 3. And in Jerusalem dwelt the children of Judah, and of the children of Benjamin, and of the children of Ephraim and Manasseh. So they were there too. A few of them were there. And also Asher. I can prove it to you right there that even in the time of Yahushua in the New Testament, you had Asher live right there, along with Judah and Benjamin, and of course Levi. They were right there, but they're not as so big as to be named, but they are named individually as, you know, a loose, you know, individuals, you know, being around them and stuff like that. Anyway, verse 26. So, but Omri wrought evil in the sight of the Lord, and did worse than all that were before him. Yeah, and I'm going to show you what type of things that the ones before him did. And then you should now figure out for yourself, like, and he was worse than that? Oh, man. You know, so it says here, 2 Kings chapter 16, verse 2. 20 years old was Ahaz when he began to reign, and reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. And he did not that which was right in the sight of Yahweh his power, like David his father. So, clearly Ahaz is a Judite, right? He's the great-grandson of, if I'm correct, or grandson or great-grandson of King David. But he's still called his father. Okay, you know. Just like how Yahushua is called the son of David. Joseph is also the son of David. Going on. The father of Yahushua is Joseph. But he walked in the way of the kings of Israel. So, that shows you, the reason I pulled this is to show you what the kings of Israel did. Because the kings of Judah did not do that first. They started to do it later. Okay. The kings of Israel. Yea. And this is what Ahaz did. And made his son pass through the fire. He was sacrificing his children to Baal, killing them, just like the kings of Israel. But it was the kings of Israel that taught him to do it, because it says it right somewhere. I think it was here then. 2 Kings 7:16. Damn it, I forgot where it was. But it says it. It says it. It says, let me see. Oh, man. I don't think it's here. Yeah, this is the punishment that we got because we did that. Oh, I didn't write it down. That's stupid. Anyway, it says it in one of these chapters that he did because they taught him to. Anyway, let me go on. That doesn't mean that it was good. Like, because if I tell you to jump off of a bridge, you're going to do it? No. So he wanted it too. But anyway,